cutting the cord, life after cable, but this is by far the most well-attended. So I think the word's getting out, and we're happy about that. I'm Jerry Hafer. I represent the AMAC Foundation and AMAC Incorporated. Does everybody know who AMAC is? Excuse me.
Turn up the mic. We can't hear you in the back.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One of the many areas.
Just getting ready for you.
I'm going to give you a little minute and a half advertisement on who AMAC and the foundation is. Are any of you familiar with AMAC?
Can't hear.
Okay, we have a couple. Good. AMAC is the Association of Mature American Citizens, and we are a senior advocacy group. We have about 1.3 million members nationwide, and we are active in Washington lobbying on behalf of America's seniors on issues like Social Security, health care, retirement issues. That's basically what we do. The foundation is AMAC's nonprofit, and our foundation mission is very simple. Okay, that gives you a, can everybody hear me now? Okay, this will be better. That gives you a quick overview of who AMAC and the AMAC Foundation is. We are a nonprofit. We don't charge for any of the services that we do. And I would like to comment just a little bit more on one of our services, the Social Security Advisory Service. If you know of anybody that's aging into Social Security and has any questions about Social Security, we have on staff 4 certified Social Security advisors that can answer your questions. So feel free to contact us. You can learn more about that by going to our website, amacfoundation.org, and it's in your attachment there. but that's a service that we handle about 300 inquiries every month, and it's something that has really grown in the past year. A year ago, we were handling about 25 a month, and now we're handling about 300 a month. The thing with Social Security is it's a little bit complicated, as many of you probably know. And there aren't many places you can go to get a good, credible answer to your questions, but we are trained and certified, and we can provide that. So we welcome your questions. And with that, I'd like to get into our seminar. I'd like to introduce Zach Newman and Marshall Shaw. And Zoe Berry is here. These are the absolute gurus when it comes to this kind of stuff, and they've agreed to partner with us to give us an overview of what options are available to you. And we're not selling things, they're just giving you information. So I'll turn it over to Zach, and they'll take it from here.
All right, again, my name's Zach. I'm the head repair agent at the Geek Squad. This is Marshall, and he works the front counter. And this is Zoe, who is our Amazon rep at the store. Yes, ma'am, already has a question. You can't hear me? Not at all? All right. Let me, can you hear it now? Yes. All right. All right, can y'all hear me in the back? Yay. All right. Again, my name's Zach. This is Marshall and Zoe. All right, so pretty much what we're going to be going over is devices that will help you get rid of your cable, options of getting rid of the cable, or setting up a different way of seeing channel TVs, or setting up seeing Netflix or Hulu. These are all things that can help you, well, not help, but provide other options than just simply cable. All right. Now, just to go over real quick, after each slide, we'll take questions. So we're not going to go through the whole presentation. If you have a question on that particular slide, as soon as we get done with it, we'll take questions. Just hold up your hand. All right? So topics we'll be covering is streaming services, major streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Video, and Sling TV. And then we're going to cover streaming devices, which would be Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, and the Roku devices, Slingbox, and Apple TV. Yes, sir?
What streaming services? What does that mean? What is it?
So the question was, what is streaming services? Streaming services is where you connect to like an app like Netflix. It's just a website you can go to, or it could be an app on your phone or tablet or computer, or it could be an app on your TV. And you go to that app and you just stream it over the net. Now what that means is that you're just watching it over the internet instead of owning a copy on like a disc or something. So you don't have to go through a cable company. You just go to that app or that website and stream it and watch it over the internet instead of having to download it to your computer or buying a physical copy.
Don't you need a cable TV connection to get to these things?
The question was, do you need a cable connection to get to these things? No, you do not. What you do need is an internet connection. That's the difference. So when we say that, you still need to go with a company like Comcast or CenturyLink or Bright House to get an internet connection, but you do not have to pay for their cable. Yep. All right.
Will Comcast give you just an internet connection and no cable?
So the question is, will they just give you an internet connection? Yes. If you just ask them, hey, only thing I want to pay for is internet, and they'll cut everything else out, and you only pay for internet. Yes, ma'am, in the... Sure.
How fast of an internet do you have to make these devices work?
That's a pretty good question. The question was, how fast does your internet need to be to make these work? For the most part, I will recommend anything 30 megabytes per second or up. Pretty much that's the standard now. You're not really going to find much lower than that. You might be at a lower speed because you're just grandfathered in. But if you go to any one of these cable companies, that's pretty much the standard package now is 30 megabytes per second. The reason why I say that is you're going to have multiple devices. streaming at the same time, or you might be streaming high quality content. So if you have, let's say, a 4K movie you want to stream across the internet, your internet's got to be able to take care of that. And a 4K movie is an HD movie that's pretty much 4 times the quality. That's basically what it is. Yes, sir.
If you're only using one device, the 10 meg is working beautifully.
Yep, it can. And it just depends on how many devices, or if you're just using one device, that can work. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Sorry.
Do you have to have a smart TV?
So the question is, do you need a smart TV? No, because these streaming devices we're going to cover turns your regular TV into a smart TV. That's part of what we're going to cover. Yes, ma'am.
I talked to Spectrum, okay, that's who I have, and just asked them how much their internet service would be, because I'm definitely gonna cut the cable. And they said it was like $70 a month. Is there any of them that's, I mean, I know there's CenturyLink and I know there's is it Xfinity or Comcast. Which one is the cheapest?
Well, the problem with that is they need to be in your area.
Well, all of them are in my area.
Okay, that's something you'd have to call each one to find out.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go through a little bit more slides. A lot of these questions are probably going to get answered, so just hold off for just a moment, and we'll come back. All right, last one. Go ahead.
I just received an advertisement from CenturyLink. I live in Lake County for internet only, $45 a month.
That's right. That's right. I live in Lake County.
All right, go ahead. All right, so the first thing we're going to cover is Netflix. What Netflix is, it's a company who makes an app, again, Netflix, so that you can stream movies or TV shows. And they also do DVDs as well. They could ship you a DVD. But for the most part, they're for streaming. And the way to get Netflix, again, you can just go to their website and watch it on their website. You can download the app to your phone or tablet or the computer if your computer uses apps, which is app just means a program. That's all that means. Or if you have a smart TV, Netflix is pretty much one of the biggest streaming services out there, and pretty much every TV now comes with Netflix pre-installed. So if you buy a smart TV, you're going to have this app. And if you have any streaming devices, it'll be on there as well. So pretty much they cover is you pay a monthly subscription fee, and depending on which one you get, the prices differ. And but there's no cancellation costs. If anytime you want to cancel, you just click cancel. There's no contract you set up. It's just simple as, oh, I'm done with it. Boom, I cancel it. And all the things that we're going to cover, most of the time they come with a free trial version. I think Netflix is a week trial. So if you want to sign up and you decide not to like it, you can cancel it before they charge you. One of the main differences between their 3 packages, so they have the basic package, which is $7.99. It's not HD content. It's just regular format. It does not have Ultra HD either. You can only use one screen at a time. So what I mean by that is, let's say you get Netflix, you have to create an account. And you create the account using an email address. So if you have that account signed in onto a device and you're watching something, someone else on another device with that same account cannot watch it as well at the same time. So if you stop it on one, then you can go on the other device. You can watch it on your laptop, TV, phone, tablet, unlimited movies and TV shows. So there's no paying per movie or TV show. It's just a flat rate. You pay monthly, and you can watch all their content that they provide. Cancel anytime. I'm sorry, it's the first month free, not week. You get a month free trial. Now, for the standard, it's $9.99. That does come with HD content, and you can watch up to 2 devices at the same time. And pretty much the rest is the same. And then, of course, the premium. Actually, I think this might be a little outdated. I think the premium is $13.99 now. It's either $12.99 or $13.99.
If you have two devices, can you watch two different programs or the same program?
So the question was, if you have two devices, do you need to watch both programs or can you watch two different ones? You can watch two different ones. You don't have to use the same one. I'm not finished with the side just yet. So again, the premium, the main difference between it and the others is that you can get 4K content. So Netflix is probably one of the biggest providers out there right now for 4K content. It's harder to see that anywhere else other than doing a DVD. And also you can go up to 4 screens, not just 2 or 1. Yes, sir.
How close do the screens have to be next to each other to use 2 or 4? Can I sign up my kids 1,000 miles away and they can use the same thing?
So his question was how close do they need to be to each other? You can be in your house and the other screen can be in Japan. It doesn't matter.
Now, the HD content and the Ultra HD content, let me ask a question. Other than the better quality, and I understand there's a little bit of better quality, but is it true that there are only programs or movies that are in Ultra HD and not in HD, so your selection actually differs?
The question was that does your programming differ based on whether there's 4K content or HD content? A lot of the content is HD that you're going to find. The things that you're going to find that are 4K only are going to be Netflix's original programming. It's stuff that they originally create. And they probably have an HD version as well. It's just that if you have the premium account, it'll show up as 4K and it'll give you the 4K.
Explain 4K.
So the 4K is that, so your regular, you got high def, 4K is 4 times the resolution, and it gives you, the best way to explain it is how your quality is on a regular TV show compared to HD is about the same as going from 4K to HD, or HD to 4K. It's that much better. You do have to have a 4K device, so even though you might have a premium account and are trying to watch a 4K, you got to be on a device that actually is capable of displaying 4K. So you have to have a 4K TV, or if you're doing it on your laptop has to be able to be capable of being 4K. Yes, ma'am.
It sounds to me as though your regular network programs and things like that are separate from this.
Well, we're going to be getting to that. Sorry, yeah. So go to the next slide. So here's the pros and cons of Netflix. So Netflix has a competitive price point. Again, you're ranging anywhere from $7.99 to $12.99. And that's just a monthly fee. It has no hassle cancellations, no contracts involved. You got high quality selection. Netflix is one of the, again, outside of your regular TV shows and things, it has the most original programming. Right now, I think they're slated for this year close to 1,000 new TV shows or movies that are going to be original content just for Netflix this year. And a lot of those are really, they're quality. A lot of the good things like House of Cards, Orange is the New Black, Stranger Things, the Marvel shows, The Ranch. There's a lot more than just that. And they do a really good job with their original content. And they're now starting to come out with not just original content shows, but movies. They're dipping their hand in that. And they're just like going to see a blockbuster in the movie theater. But instead of having to go to the movie theater, they're right here on Netflix. You just watch it straight from your home. Yes, ma'am.
Can you go on the website to see exactly what's available?
The question is, can you go on their website to see what's available? I don't think they're going to show exactly like every single thing that they have. It's more like going to give you a number of how much they have as compared to seeing exactly what they have. All right. And again, another pro is it's easily accessible through a wide range of devices. Now, one of the bigger things for Netflix is that you're able to watch on lower internet speed. So what I mean by that is, even if you're, it would still be tough, but if you were still on dial-up, you'd probably still be able to watch this. I don't recommend it, but you can be at the lower speeds, like 10 megabyte per second lower, and if you had multiple devices streaming it, it's going to work itself around your internet connection, while a lot of other apps like Hulu and that don't do that. All right, and now the cons is that they don't have, like, let's say a newer TV show comes out, they're not going to have the content for it yet. They're going to wait until it's fully out and wait a while, and then they get the contract to put it on their, put it on Netflix. So if it's something that's airing right now concurrently, you're not going to see it on Netflix. You might see their previous shows. So like, let's say Supernatural, that airs on, I can't remember the channel, but it airs on TV right now, but they have all the seasons up to the latest season available. They're not going to have the latest season for a while. And let's see, you also have no channel surfing. So pretty much what that means is that, like on cable, you just flip through the channels until you find what you want that's airing. But this, while yes, you kind of need to know what you're looking for, they do provide pictures so that you can just flip through it and say, maybe I want to watch this. So it does have that available, but not like how you just have it playing already on a cable, or you just flip through it. You will also not find news-related content. You're not going to find news. They have documentaries though, but you're not going to find news. And also, they go by licensing agreements. So some shows will come and go. Like on January 4th, 2014, 90 films and TV shows were removed because their license came up. So they're constantly going through license agreements. So some things you might find on there, and then a week later it might be gone because the license went up. But of course, they're going to notify that before it just gets removed. Another con, Hulu has around 10,000 titles, while Netflix has around 7,000 titles, and Amazon Prime Video has around 20,000 titles. And of course, that's always changing. It's constantly changing. Like I said, Netflix is pumping out like 1,000 shows and movies of original content that you're not going to find anywhere else just this year alone. So that number is constantly changing. All right. Any questions on Netflix? Yes, sir. Hold on. Let me call on you first. Go ahead.
Can you record any of these shows?
So the question is, can you record any of the shows? No, but you don't need to, because it's not something that's airing. You just go to Netflix and find it and watch it. So there's no need to record it because it's always going to be there. You just go to it, play it, and that's it. All right. Yes, sir.
When you say shows, do they pick and choose from the major networks, like NBC, CBS?
So the question was for shows, do they pick from like the major networks? Yes and no. Like I said, they don't do news, but a lot of the TV shows that come on your regular cable will end up most likely being on Netflix. It just, they have to go through a license agreement, so they might or might not get it. So maybe Hulu picks it up. If Hulu picks it up, Netflix isn't going to get it. You know, so they're always in a battle with Netflix and Amazon, which are pretty much three biggest streaming services right now.
What about sports? ESPN?
Another one is sports. Sports is not on Netflix. Yep. Yes, sir.
I understand everybody's got their own original content to a degree, but isn't it true that much of the content is overlapping?
Yep.
In other words, the same types of things or the same exact things are on Hulu versus Roku versus Netflix versus Amazon?
Not necessarily. A lot of the shows you do see on the cable will end up on here. Like I said, Supernatural, Flash, there's a lot of CSI that's on Netflix. Again, not the season that's out currently that's airing, but they have all the previous seasons. So a lot of the stuff you do find on the cable will end up on Netflix, but not necessarily concurrent with Hulu and Amazon because they do fight with licensing. Now, it also depends on the TV show itself. They might say, yeah, we're going to let you play it through all three, or it could be the license agreement mixed where it can only go to them. It's just all depends on whatever license they get.
Now, like the TV shows, the movies, are they all kind of on all of the?
It's the same way.
Okay.
Yep. Yes, sir.
How about commercial content?
All right. So for Netflix, one of the biggest things is that there's no commercials. You don't have to pay anything extra to get rid of them, or if there's commercials, there's no commercials whatsoever. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you said that, like Amazon Prime has 20,000 titles, but they don't have what Netflix has, like Orange is the New Black.
Correct.
That is, Netflix
Yep.
has their own.
So,
thing.
yeah.
But even though they've got 20,000 titles,
Now,
it's not going to.
when I say 20,000 titles with Amazon Prime, it's not necessarily a true number. It is what they have, but a lot of that is from DVDs.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not necessarily streaming. It's just when you go with Amazon Prime Video, when that number is inflated with everything that they do, which includes most of that is when you just buy a DVD and they send it to you, or you pay for it and then you stream it after you pay for it.
so
Yeah.
if I went,
Now, as far as Netflix's original content they make, you're not going to find that anywhere else. It's only on Netflix. So you're not going to find Orange is the New Black or House of Cards anywhere but Netflix.
Okay, couple of questions.
Hmm?
So if my husband wants to watch sports, we still need then that cable connection, correct?
So the question was is that if you still want to watch sports, do you still need the cable connection? Yes and no. Yes, but there is other options which we're going to be covering. So we'll get to sports. Sports has always been a big question. We'll get to there. All right.
And then the other one is, with Netflix or Amazon Prime, is there some shows that you do have to pay extra for because they're just out? I mean,
With the question was, is there some shows with these that you do have to pay extra for? Like with Netflix, there's nothing that you'd have to pay extra for. But like I said, if you want to watch it in 4K, you need to go with the 4K plan. But there's no, I need to pay, this just came out, do I need to pay extra to see it? Not with Netflix. Yes, ma'am.
how do you get into Netflix on your TV? Do you have a clicker for that?
The question is, how do you get to Netflix on your TV? It depends if you have a smart TV or not. If it's not a smart TV, you'll have to use a streaming device, which we'll get to later. If there is a smart device, there should be a button on your remote that says like hub. It's probably multicolored. You can just click the TV remote for your hub, the smart hub, and it'll take you to the panel that shows all your apps that you have installed on the TV, and you just click on Netflix.
You can use a Blu-ray player too, right?
Question was, can you use a Blu-ray player? A lot of Blu-ray players that come out right now do have those devices or those streaming apps. So if you buy a Blu-ray player and it has Netflix on it, you can use that.
I noticed with on Netflix with streaming new releases, there's not, the selection of new releases is
Mm.
pretty limited.
Yeah, the main focus with Netflix is shows, not so much movies. They do have movies there, but the selection is not as good as, let's say, Amazon Prime or Hulu, because Hulu's main focus is movies. Now, again, though, Netflix is coming out with its own movies that they're creating, which you're not going to find anywhere else. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
The dreaded commercials. Currently with cable, I have a DVR and I can tape shows and I can fast forward the commercials. Do any of these streaming services show programs with commercials? And if so, how do you, of course,
Well,
fast forward?
Well, for now, we're just going to talk about Netflix, and for each one, I'll talk about commercials. For each one, Netflix, there's no commercials, and there's no need to DVR it because it's not airing. You just go what you want to watch and watch it. Yes, sir.
If you just have Netflix, how do you get your major ABC, CBS, and all that?
The question was, if you only have Netflix, how do you get the rest of it? If all you're wanting is Netflix, then you need your cable. But that's if all you get is Netflix. Now, again, we're going to be going other ways of getting those other channels. Yeah. All right, is that it for Netflix? All right. Hulu. All right, so one of the bigger differences with Hulu is that their two packages is, their first one is $7.99, but it comes with commercials. And you cannot skip past them. Trust me, you can't. Then they do have a $12.99 or $11.99, and that has no commercials. So they force you, if you don't want commercials, you got to pay extra to not get commercials. Let's see. Now, again, though, with Hulu, their primary focus is more for, go ahead on the next slide. Their primary focus is more for getting a lot of more movies than Netflix does. They do have shows, but one of the good things about their TV shows is that they air things that are currently airing, not just previous content. Problem with that is that they most likely don't have all of the old content. So one of my favorite shows is Supernatural. I've said it a couple times. They have 13 seasons out right now. 13th is airing. Netflix has seasons 1 through 12, and the 13th is airing. Hulu will probably have Supernatural season 13 going, but it won't have all the previous. It might have only seasons 9 through 12, and not have the rest of it. So if you're trying to catch up on everything, Hulu wouldn't be where you want to go. Now, mind you, I'm talking about Hulu and Netflix, it's not something that you have to pick and choose. You can have both. If you're willing to pay $10 a month for each, or it's not the exact price, but you could just pay for both. You can have both and run both. There's not like something where it says you can only have one or the other. So that is an option. Now, again, they have for their pro, they have competitive pricing. There is a Showtime add-on for $8.99 additional to whatever you pay. For $9 more, you get to have the Showtime as well. And again, there's no hassle cancellation. There's no contracts. Cancel at any time. And they have a month free trial. Yeah. So Hulu again they have a month free trial. So if you don't like it, you have to cancel before the end of the month. No HBO. The reason why is that HBO has their own. It's called HBO Go or Now. There's two different ones. One is that I think HBO Now is what you get through your cable company. So if you're already paying for it, you can go to HBO Now and watch it anywhere, as compared to HBO Go is where you could just pay for HBO and not go through a cable company. Yes, sir.
Will the Showtime add-on, will it show just what's showing on Showtime at the moment, or will you be able to use it like, what do they call it, Showtime on demand? Or all the different Showtimes? There are about 12 different Showtimes. What will you get on the add-on?
All right, so I know with Showtime on Hulu, I know for sure it's not going to be just what is airing. There's going to be more. Now, whether you get all different Showtimes, I'm not sure. He's looking it up right now, so we'll get back to that question. All right. So again, Hulu has their own original content, like The Handmaid's Tale, Dimension 404, The Path. Again, you're not going to find that anywhere else but on Hulu. The only thing is that Hulu is not as big on original content as Netflix is. So that's not their main focus. They don't have as much and as good as Netflix has. Again, you can watch it on all major streaming devices. Our app stores have a Hulu app, website. Full library of Showtime. Okay, the Showtime question, when you have the Showtime add-on, you get the full entire library of Showtime. And you can watch at any time what you want. All right. And again, now with the cons, again, I explained it, it will have the latest season for a TV show, but not necessarily the earlier ones. See, again, commercials, unless you pay for the extra. Original content is not as good. And now, it doesn't, like I said earlier about Netflix, if you have slower connection speed, you might not be able to play the Hulu as compared to Netflix, where if you had a low signal strength on your Wi-Fi, let's say you're at an airport and it's just that signal strength is not very good. While comparatively Netflix will be able to downgrade itself to a point where you can stream it, Hulu won't. If you don't have the strength, it's not going to play. That's pretty much with Hulu. Now there is a little bit extra with Hulu, which you have another slide for, but this primarily is for the app. No. Yes, ma'am.
What number of screens?
Number of screens, I think it's up to 3. He's looking it up real quick. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what about HD?
Pretty much if you get it, you have HD content. Again, I don't think you're going to have as much 4K content. I'm not even sure if they have 4K content, but if they do, it's not going to be as much as Netflix has. Netflix is pretty much the biggest source for 4K content right now. Yes, sir.
It says right there, spotty record with HD content.
Oh. Well, there you go. But who's on this one? Okay, all right. With Hulu, the amount of devices, you can have it signed into as many devices as you want, but you don't have one airing at the same time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, any other questions with Hulu? All right, next one. Now, again, those were all like TV shows or movies with Hulu. It's not necessarily a cable where it's just showing everything at any time. And if they don't have the license agreement, they can't have it. Now, Hulu has something out called Hulu Live. It's in a beta form, so it's not fully done yet, but you can still get it, and you're considered like one of the testers. You're just testing out. So if you get it, just be aware, if something doesn't work, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's how it is. It's in beta, so they're still messing with it. They're still changing things. They might add on things at any time. And what it is that it's $40 a month, and it's pretty much cable. They're licensed with channels, TV channels, and you pretty much watch it like you would with cable. So this would be an option of getting rid of your cable, an actual real option of getting rid of the cable if you want all of those TV shows, or not TV shows, but those TV networks. There's no installations of any equipment. So someone doesn't need to come out with and install a box or anything like that. It's just an app that you put on your TV if you have a smart TV or a device, streaming device or anything like that. Yes, sir.
Will it have commercials?
So one of the bigger things about Hulu Live is if you're paying for Hulu Live, there's no commercials. Yep.
Okay, but you said this is like the cable, so are you gonna have ABC, CBS, NBC?
We're actually, there should be a slide coming up that shows you all the channels that they have.
Okay.
They're not going to have everything, and they might even add more on. But I think the next slide will be showing you what channels they do have. Yep. You can record live TV up to 50 hours on storage. So once the 50 hours runs up, you got to delete something and be able to put more on it. But it does have recording. Yes, sir.
Can you bring these right into your laptop or tab?
So the question was, can you bring these into your laptops or tablets? Yes. You just go to the website or download the app.
Okay, you can download the app on your computer also and just watch it.
You just go to the website, or if they have an app available, you could go to the app. I know on with Windows computers, like with the Windows 10, you can go to the App Store and get the app, or you could just go straight to the website.
So you wouldn't even need a TV technically, right?
If you don't necessarily need a TV. Yep.
How does the record actually work?
So the question is, how does the record work? You just go to that what you're wanting to watch again later, and just tell it to save it, and it'll record it, and to its account. To a storage device, I believe. No, it's actually to your account. It just saves up to 50 hours of content, and you could be so if you tell it to record on your laptop, you could go to your TV and watch that on the app on your TV because it's saved to the account.
So that's not going, Hulu beta is not going to show the older episodes.
No, it's just like if you have cable. So, but I do you with Hulu Live, you still get the regular Hulu, right? Yeah.
You get the regular
Yeah.
Hulu, but
So,
you don't
again-
get you don't get the one without the commercials.
No, I thought it.
You get the other one.
Really? Oh, okay. Sorry. You do still have access to the regular Hulu with Hulu Live. Sorry, I had mentioned something earlier about the commercials. You do actually get commercials with that. You get, yeah, like, so if you get Hulu Live and you don't want to pay for the regular Hulu, it does include access to the regular Hulu, but it's the $7.99 version where you have commercials for those. Yeah.
But if you record, can you speed through commercials then?
Yes. So the question was, if you're recording, can you speed through the commercials? Yes. Yes, ma'am.
With the Hulu data, how long of a testing period is it? And what will happen to the price when they're out of the beta phase?
So the question was, is how long is this beta phase and what will happen to the price? We don't know. That's up to Hulu. The question was, is how long is the Hulu Live beta phase? How long is it going to last? And if it will it change the price? We don't know yet. It's just up to Hulu when they decide to. And a lot of the times, like since this is live, you can give feedback to them and they can add in. Because I don't believe when Hulu Live first came out, you could fast forward through the commercials or through the content. They didn't have that. But they added that in later. So they're constantly updating it to make it better. Yes, ma'am.
So you're actually streaming this through the internet, right?
So the question is are you actually streaming this to the internet? Yes. So you don't need a cable and internet. You just need an internet connection to get all your cable channels.
So if someone in the house is using this and somebody else wants to use their computer, do their email or whatever, does this degrade the speed on the internet?
The question is if someone's doing the Hulu Live, like watching something, streaming it, and someone's on another device doing like emails and things, will it affect their internet or their speed? Yes and no. Just the fact that it depends, one, on your router, which I'm not going to really get much into right now, but it could be that your router might not be a very good one, which is what you get from your cable company that gives you your internet. Maybe that just can't handle all the devices. Or maybe you have your own and it's good and it can handle a lot of devices. Or it could be your connection speed that you pay for. It might be low. It might be a small connection speed, and depending on what the other person is doing, it could affect them. Just there's a lot of factors that go into that. Most of the time though, with your basic, that way you get, if someone's watching this and they want to stream something else on another device, it's probably not going to hurt it. You could probably, you could do multiple. Like one's watching Netflix and the other's watching Hulu. I don't think you're going to see much of a difference from what you knew nowadays if you get brand new equipment as compared to older equipment that you got.
On the recording, can you record a whole season? Or do you have to go in episode by episode?
I think with Hulu Live, the question was, is can you record a whole season or do you have to go in by each one? I believe with Hulu you have to do each one. I don't think you could just tell it to record this season. That's one of the bigger things. Again, it's in beta. They might change that. But for right now, I think it's set to that way that you have to tell it to each one to record.
Well, you can only do 50 hours anyway, so. if the
Correct.
Season is more than 50 hours,
You would just delete until you get enough space. All right, Ms. Beer?
I noticed in the programming channels that they have listed under Hulu Live, it doesn't include PBS.
Correct. I don't believe, so again, this isn't going to provide every single channel that's out there. It's just based on license agreements with networks. So they might not have PBS and PBS, yep. And do they provide local channels?
It depends on, it does depend on your region. So like
Okay.
if I have CBS, you get, it depends on your region.
Yeah. So, and also the local shows, it'll just have to depend. So some local shows you might not get. So like if it's based in Orlando, you might or might not be able to get those channels from Orlando. You might be able to get it. It just depends. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, all of these systems depend on just how good an internet connection you can get in the first place, and how good your Wi-Fi router is going to be if you're going to use a handheld device. Because I know mine, the CenturyLink, I barely get 10 downloads, and if you're going to get the 4K, you were saying earlier that you probably need 30 maybe coming down the road. So, if you don't have a good internet connection to begin with, all of these are not going to function very well.
Except for Netflix. Netflix will downgrade itself to a quality to where you can watch it with a lower speed. Now, there are ways to fix that speed. Like I said, you could always upgrade your router and get your own, so you don't have to pay Comcast and rent it out. And that would provide a better capable, as well as talking with CenturyLink or Comcast to see whether you can upgrade your speed. So there are ways to fix that. When we talk about all these devices, you got to think how many devices you're going to have. When we say that, you got to think laptops, phones, tablets, TVs, sometimes Blu-ray players if you wanted to connect it to your internet, any gaming consoles. All these devices are connecting to your internet. So your basic router that you get from your ISP, your internet service provider, might not be able to handle everything, and that's what's causing the issue, which would cause degradation. So you might want to look at just getting a better router to help with that. Mm-hmm.
I actually have two routers because I have the time capsule.
Okay.
And Apple
Mm-hmm.
is a router in itself.
Yep.
What if I ran one device on the time capsule and one on my regular router? Does that just split the speed, or does it?
The cartridge, she's got two devices for her routing. It depends on, like with the time machine, that's only through Ethernet, right? Or is it providing a Wi-Fi signal?
It's providing a Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. It depends on whether it's connecting to it or the other. So it'll be better at handling multiple devices, because multiple devices might be connecting to one router, the other one connecting to that one. But it's still one signal that's coming in through the wall. But you got two devices that are handling it better instead of just having one having to do all the load. Yes, sir.
Does Hulu have any competition with the live channels?
Does Hulu have any competition with the live channels? Yes, and we'll be getting to that. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Will you be covering data caps?
Will we be covering data caps? Not really. But if you have a question, outside of what we're talking about right now, or if we can't answer right now, we'll be here after the session. You always come up and ask us, and we can look up more further. Right. Yes, sir.
Do you have any idea what routers cost?
I could speak a lot about routers. It's probably better, so we have enough time to do everything, probably just come after the session and we could talk about it. But there's a lot of different routers with a lot of different prices. Me personally, the routers that I like right now are considered mesh networks. There's two out right now. There's the Linksys Velop, which is VELOP, and the Netgear Orbi. I'm not going to talk about them right now. I could be here all day. In fact, we do a smart home presentation where we go over more in depth on those. But if you want to see us afterwards, you can. All right, anyone else? All right. Oh, go back one. Go back one. Quick thing about the sports. You do get live games from major pro and college leagues, including NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, and NCAA. One of the biggest things that we get questions about is the Sunday ticket. This does not have the Sunday ticket. That is strictly satellite. You have to have that to get the Sunday ticket, or Dish Network. Or if you're in a college and can't get Dish Network, then they'll offer it to them. But that's pretty, they're pretty much set on that. Yes, sir.
So you'll just get the regional games like for the NFL?
Yeah.
Yep. So basically, if you're a Patriots fan and you want to watch the Patriots and the Buccaneers are playing, you don't get to watch the Patriots.
Yes, ma'am.
So if we subscribe to MLB Extra Innings, we don't even have to have this to watch that, correct?
Correct.
Because it's already its own,
So-
streaming.
So her question was is that she pays for MLB Extra Innings, so she wouldn't necessarily even need this. That's correct, because I believe it has its own streaming app, right? That and you could watch. You just put the app or the the website and be able to watch that. And a lot of these even have their own. Like ESPN has their own app. I believe that you can watch games and things straight from ESPN and not having to worry about going through this.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a smart TV, you can get the ESPN app, you can get the PBS app.
Yep.
You can get all those things if you have a smart TV, and then
Yep.
you don't.
Yeah, what she's mentioning right now is that if you have a smart TV, and even if you have streaming devices, which we'll cover, you can put, like if you're looking for PBS, you can always just download the PBS app and be able to watch PBS. A lot of the news channels have their own apps as well. ESPN has their own app. So not just because these don't offer it doesn't mean you don't need it or you can't drop your cable, because a lot of these things have their own apps that you can download and watch.
Are they free?
The question is, are they free? It depends on which one.
So then you're gonna have all these different charges on you.
Right. So, but as far as $5 here, $7 there, $8 there, is a lot comparable to like maybe a $120 charge you're paying for the cable company. Yeah. So it just depends on what you're picking. Now, of course, again, we have other options for cable. So this isn't the only one. Yes, sir.
Is there any competition for the, I have DirecTV with the NFL ticket? And
No.
No competition?
No. They are locked down on that. The only thing you could do is go to college and be in an area where they don't have a Dish Network.
The only one that might come close to it is the Red Zone, which would be
Yep.
signing up for a monthly subscription, which is kind of like the app, the MLB Extra Innings, kind of like that.
Which we're going to be going over a little bit later, PlayStation Vue, which you can get the NFL Red Zone with that. Yes, sir.
Can you download apps and put them right on your TV the way you would put them on your computer or smartphone?
So the question is, can you download apps and watch them on your TV like you do with like your computer or phone? There are ways to do that. And if you have a smart TV, you could probably download the app straight to the smart TV. But if you don't have a smart TV, again, we're going to be covering streaming devices where you can do that. All right, go ahead. I'm not going to go over. All right, Amazon Prime. Zoe's going to go over all the Amazon.
Anyone else? Are we getting there? A little bit louder, apparently. All right. So, Amazon Prime Video. This is going to be the version that's similar to your Netflix and your Hulu, where you only have to pay once a month and you're just getting the video. So this would not be included with your Prime subscription. This would be if you just had an Amazon account and you just wanted the video. So you're going to get free trial, which, if I am correct, it's about 2 weeks, I'm fairly certain. And you're going to get popular TV shows, which are not necessarily going to be the ones on Netflix. I have Netflix, Hulu, and Prime so that I can get the full range and not have to pay for cable. The other thing is that you're going to get a lot of HD, Ultra HD, and then HDR content, simply because they have the ability to have the rights to it. So, and it is $8.99 a month, which is kind of fantastic. It's not too expensive. A little closer, how's that? Alrighty. So if you want to go to the next. And this one is going to be for Prime. Monthly, which is going to get you a little bit more content. It's basically, instead of paying $99 a year, you're going to be paying $12.99 a month to get all the benefits of Prime. Free 2-day shipping, unlimited content on a lot of music and books, and you actually get some early deals when it comes to purchases, Black Friday deals. They have Cyber Monday that starts a week early, as well as your extra TV content and photo storage, cloud storage, all sorts of stuff like that. Before I go on to the next one, any other questions? Right there. Right. So if you already have Prime and you're paying for that already, don't pay attention to this. Because if you have Prime and you're paying $99 a year, then you already have all of the content that's listed.
Just a quick thing. When she's talking about the Amazon Prime, that includes a lot more than just simply movies and TV shows. That includes all the services with Amazon, including free 2-day shipping on things. So when you look at this, you got to look at more than just TV shows and things like that.
Are the TV shows current TV shows or
They will be past seasons. And Amazon, what they focus mostly on is going to be their original content and movies. So you're not going to get too much of the included TV shows. So if you wanted to watch CSI or any other ones I'm thinking of that would be more current or just recently ended, you're probably going to want to consider at least adding on a Netflix, hence why I did it. They're going to focus mostly on their own original content, Man in the High Castle, a few others that I can't even think of right now, but they're really, really good. They don't stream live, but they do have PBS content so that you can actually watch some of their documentaries and some of their NewsHour repeats. Same thing will go with some of the CNN, MSNBC content. It's not streamed live, however. Yes.
We'll be going with a Fire Stick like towards the end. That's under the streaming devices.
Yep. Any other questions related to Prime Video? There's no local channels. Not on this one, simply because it doesn't stream live. But like I said, you can get your PBS and some of the Noggin, some of the children's stuff, a lot of the children's content as well.
in order to get that, you can just download it from the computer?
Correct. You can actually go right to the Amazon website, log in. When you log in with your Prime account, you can watch it right on the website. You can also watch it on your... what you would do is sign up for a Prime Video monthly, and then you'd still be able to log into your regular Amazon account. Regardless, you're going to have an Amazon account. Email and password. That's it. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah.
The difference between the price monthly, or Prime monthly and Prime annual, why wouldn't people do Prime annual? Because they're saving money. It's the same thing, isn't it?
They would be. The best thing that I can say about a Prime monthly to advocate for it is the folks who don't want that annual commitment. If you don't want to kind of lock yourself in for a year, then this would be a good option for you because you can cancel at any time, you can downgrade at any time and not worry about it. However, I use Prime all the time for books and shipping. It's free 2-day shipping is kind of amazing.
So the question was, what's the difference with getting Prime monthly versus annual? And that's what she was referring to, is that with annual, you got to pay the $99, but let's say you don't like it and cancel it, you're not going to get a refund, and you paid out the $99. Or maybe you just don't want to pay out $99 at this time. Maybe you can't afford it, or whatever the case may be, you could do the $12.99 option.
The great thing for folks who aren't sure if they want to use all the benefits of Prime is to do this monthly option. It gives you the opportunity to experience it without having to commit for a whole year. And then if you decide that you really like it, then you can commit to the year. In the back.
You had mentioned the word books when you were talking about Amazon Prime.
Correct.
That's separate from Kindle, right? I mean, Kindle content,
Yes and no. The reason, and to clarify, you can purchase hardcover and paperback books that can be shipped to your house, or you can purchase Amazon Kindle content. With Prime, you get discounts. There are certain books that you can get that are free just because you have a Prime account. It also gives you a discount with Prime Unlimited books, so Kindle Unlimited, which is similar to a Netflix subscription, but it's for books that you can download, ebooks that you can download directly to your Kindle.
you're saying that my Prime account, my $99 a year Prime account, 2-day free shipping and all that, I should be able to get some free Kindle content?
Correct, as well as audio books as well. Yes.
They have music streaming as well.
Yes, they do. So if you want to have everything and not have to pay for Spotify or get Pandora or anything like that, that you can actually include it in your Prime account is Amazon Music, which is fun. It has an incredibly large library. And you also get a discount on the unlimited. So with your Prime account, you don't necessarily get unlimited downloads and unlimited sources of music. However, you get a discount when you when and if you decide that you want to go with Amazon Music Unlimited.
So the music costs a little extra.
To get the unlimited subscription, yes. However, you do get music with Prime irregardless. You can put it onto your smartphone. It's not going to be necessarily saved onto the hard drive, but what you can do is listen to it through the Amazon app.
So you would put the Amazon app on your phone and then be able to listen to music from there. So you don't have to mess with plugging your phone into your computer and moving the music over. You have it purchased on your account, and when you put the app on your phone, it shows what you've purchased, and you just listen to it.
It also allows you to do the exact same thing with your any Alexa device. So you can actually use your Fire Stick, which I'll get to in a little bit. You can stream it through that. You can stream it through any one of your Echo devices as well.
Just because you're an Amazon
Yep.
representative, they should, this is just a thing that maybe you should tell them. They should let you know about all this, because I have Amazon Prime and I've never read anything about music or books or anything.
Yep. It's one of the tough things as a student before I became the rep here. I didn't know anything as far as the kind of hidden benefits, so to speak.
But they should let you know, because I mean I'm paying for it and I didn't even know.
Exactly.
Do you get subscribed to their emails?
Yeah.
Because I know.
Their emails just try to sell me stuff all the time.
Yeah, but if you do read some of them, I noticed when I had an Amazon Prime account that for a while I didn't use much of this. They sent me an email saying, hey, you haven't used this at all. We do offer this. I did get an email like that.
Yep.
So if
one of the things that I have found just in owning an Alexa device is that when you get an email and it says, what's new with Alexa, that's going to be the one to pay attention to. They're not going to try to sell you stuff. They might in the very bottom, but mostly what it's going to do is tell you every day what she's learned and what she's developed. That'll also tie into your Prime account.
And when she's referring to Alexa, she's talking about the smart home device, the Echo.
Echo devices.
Which we're not really going to cover much on here because that's a completely separate presentation we do.
But if you have any questions, you can
Yeah.
come and find me. I'll be hanging around at the end of this, and I'll be able to answer any of those questions. Yes?
When you talk about special programs you do, how do we find out when you do them and where you do them?
As far as teachings?
I don't know what he said, we'll cover Alexa on.
Okay. No, it depends. Like with AMAC, they provide same way we're doing here. They also they come with us to let us do a smart home presentation. Just get up with AMAC and they'll let you know when the next smart home presentation is. Mm-hmm.
Are you guys out at the local store here? Can we come see you at the local store?
Yep.
Yes.
We're at the local store in Lady Lake.
Yep. Another gentleman. Pardon?
Well, quick thing about coming to the local store. What we do also offer, I was going to mention that towards the end, You can always come into the store and ask any of the blue shirts that you want to have an in-home consultation done. It's free. It's a lady that comes out, and her name's Jessica. She is amazing. She's trained in every single department of the store.
She is
And
number
she
one in the
is
country.
number one in the country about doing in-home consultations. She's very, very good. Again, it's free. She just comes out to your house and looks at what you have and give you options about smart homes or smart home devices or cutting the cord. She can do all of that, and it's specific to what you have at your house. And like her name's Jessica.
Jessica Cordash.
Jessica?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yes.
If you're a subscriber to Amazon Prime, say you're at a restaurant, they have free Wi-Fi, you can tap in and watch.
Yes. As long as you have Wi-Fi available to you, you can watch it on a tablet. Also, if you don't mind eating up your data in a big, big way, you can stream it on your phone from anywhere. But it will eat your data big.
Quick thing on that, with Netflix, and it's only with Netflix, they have an option to, let's say you're at home and you know you're going on a road trip or you're going on the plane. While at home, you could tell it to save it to your device so that when you go on a road trip or on an airplane, you can watch what you've saved to your device instead of eating up your data or having to worry about being on a low connection. Again, that's with Netflix though.
Yes.
Are you going to speak at all to the AT&T, like the AT&T bundle where we bought our phones and our internet and DirecTV, and now at the end of our 2-year contract, they've now got DirecTV Now? Trying to lure us in for $10 for the streaming service, which will then go up to $35, and then who knows where?
That's not something we're going to be discussing.
We don't really cover that. That's something specific with AT&T. And yes, so with AT&T, you do get bundled. I think is it with Netflix, or is it with Hulu?
It's with DirecTV.
DirecTV. Yeah.
They're going to replace their dishes in our yard with the DirecTV streaming service.
Okay.
DirecTV Now, which is an additional piece to your presentation.
We might be able to put that, like, there's always constantly new things coming out, so we don't always have the information for everything.
Yeah.
But we might add that on.
The only thing I can say is that my dad has it, and he likes it.
I have it and I love it.
Okay, he got it. Exactly. He didn't want to get DirecTV, the whole kit and caboodle all over again. So he decided that he wanted to go with something a little bit different, and that's why he looked into that and did what he did, because we have AT&T.
So it has a lot of the live channels. I'm not trying to railroad the presentation, but if you are AT&T customers, you might want to check out DirecTV Now streaming.
Are there any other questions on Amazon Prime Video? No? Alrighty. This is basically what I just went over. This is the annual one where you pay $99 a year. And then it shows you exactly everything that you can get and most of what we discussed. So the only thing really that changes is going to be you save 25% with your annual plan on Prime. And that's about it. So you still get the free 2-day shipping. If you're in the Orlando area, now it's a newer thing because they just recently acquired Whole Foods. You can get your groceries delivered same day. And there are a lot of other things that you can actually get delivered within an hour. Yes?
So the save 25% on Prime with our annual plan, you'd save 25% on the 99?
What it's telling you is that if over the course of that monthly plan, if you add up that monthly plan paying the $12.99, you actually save paying that one-time annual fee. Yep. Anything else pop up in anybody's head? Alrighty. All right. So basically, pro-con list here. You get a whole bunch of benefits included if you get the whole Prime, not just video. And let's see. You are, if you're from Canada and you're down here visiting, welcome, first off. And second, you get it's a little bit more limited outside of the US. Amazon Prime is focused right now mainly just in the US. I imagine, just because the way they grow and they constantly evolving, that this will be changing and that they will broaden their scope very soon. And then when you see this next con down, is that not all content you see is included. That means it's not included with your Prime membership free. So there are very current, just released and out in the theaters, but you can't get it for free. You're gonna still have to pay possibly $13 for that movie to purchase it forever. You can rent or purchase.
How much is the additional fee for HBO?
For HBO.
I believe it's 13.
Yep.
Yeah. So one of the things with Prime Video is that, let's say you get Prime Video, you can add on channels like Hulu, but Amazon offers a lot more. They have HBO, Showtime, Stars, and I think a couple others. But you have to add those on, and they cost additional money
And
for
that's-
each add-on channel.
Yeah, and that's not one of those things, if you have Prime, that you have that $99 for a year, and you decide to add those channels, you're not locked into those channels for a year. So if you come down here, you want those channels, you go back home, you don't want those channels anymore, you don't have to, you're not saddled with them forever, so to speak.
And yeah, like one of the benefits is you could be anywhere. Like if you're a snowbird, you don't need to have paying for two different cables. This travels with you regardless. You just sign into your account.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of HD content with them, and it's not going to be exclusive just to their original content. So you're going to have options for, if you want any movie that has the availability in HD, oftentimes it will also have a standard definition option as well. So the one might cost a little bit more for the HD. And so something like Man in the High Tower, which if no one has watched it, I highly recommend, is an Amazon original, and that's going to be one of those ones that's going to be in the better quality, just because they can put more money into developing their own video because of their proprietary ownership of that. Yes?
Where do you find those Amazon-specific shows when you're going into your TV or, into your account?
So what she's asking is, how are you going to find these Amazon exclusive, essentially? What they do, at least on mine, it has menu options, and what they will have is Amazon Prime Originals. And that's going to be any one of the shows that they've come up, shows and or movies that they've developed on their own.
Same with Netflix. They have, it's Netflix originals.
Yes.
You know what I find, this is just a comment. Unless you're going into one of these services knowing what you want to find, let's say you go in and you decide you want to watch a movie and you're not sure what. So by the time you look at all the things that are available, and look, you're tired and don't want to watch TV.
You're not wrong.
Is there any secret to being able to get this stuff condensed so you can only spend about an hour looking at what you want to watch?
The one thing that I can say is that there is the opportunity to search. So if you for Amazon specifically here, you can search a title. And if they don't have it included in Prime, there's a very good chance that they will have it that you would pay maybe $4 to own the movie.
Another thing with Netflix, one of the things I like about Netflix is that while yes, you can do a search, but as you go down, they also list things by genre. So it'll say mystery, or then it'll be comedy, and you search through that. And what it also does is that the list of things it gives you to choose from is based on what you've watched already. It's learning what you like, and then it goes and finds things that are related, and it actually has a score. It'll say like 94% related to what some other show you've watched. So it might be something that you'd be interested in.
Yep.
So Netflix is constantly learning what you watch and try to provide you in that showing of things to see, things that are closely to what you like. And again, you can search by genre, or you can search by title if you know the name that you want.
Yep. The other thing, oh, I'm sorry.
It says here on Prime Video.
Yeah.
You can add on like HBO and Showtime. Does that mean past episodes? Not
It actually means current episodes. So it's not necessarily going to be live streaming. However, if you have, I know for HBO, what is it called, Westworld? Pretty sure that's a show I've been watching. The new season's coming out soon. I think within the next few days, actually. And what they're going to do is they will post the most current episode. So it kind of works like Hulu, that if Westworld airs on Monday night, you'll be able to watch it Tuesday. So that, as far as that goes, it'll be current episodes and past episodes, as well as the movies that they provide. Anyone else? Nope. Alrighty. Moving on.
All right. This is PlayStation Vue. To me, this is probably the bigger or better competition with cable. I think this is probably the best option out right now. Other than, we're going to be going a little bit later, there's another one. But between the two, this is probably going to be one of the bigger ones of competition-wise. If anyone knows or has grandkids, they might always be talking about their PlayStation, which is a gaming console. You don't have to have a gaming console to have this. It's completely separate. All right, so I'll just get that out of the way. You can always go to their website or download the app, the same thing that we've been talking about. With PlayStation Vue, you have packages like you have packages with your cable company, but they will probably be less than what you would get from your cable company. And there's no contract. So if you cancel, then you're canceled. There's no cancellation fee or anything like that. Their basic package, which is the Access, which is $40 a month and has a 5-day free trial. Every one of these packages has 5-day free trial. So you can just try it, don't like it, cancel it. So if you quickly want to just see what it's about, you have 5 days. And that's pretty much just your most popular live TV. I'm not going to flip back and forth between the slides, but you do all have packets. On the next slide, it shows all the channels that they have. And I'll go to the next slide when after I cover all this. But if you want to look while I'm talking, you're more welcome. You have it does show a lot of the channels or all the channels they have. Now, one of the key things about that is what you see, all those channels available will be based, some of those will be grayed out based on the package. So just because if you get the Access, that does not include sports. So then you would look at your slide that has all the channels, just imagine all the sports channels being grayed out. So if you go to their website, it'll show you exactly what's covered underneath each package. But so the next one up is Core, which is $44.99 a month, and that includes all the sports channels plus the popular live TV. Elite is $54.99, and that's movies, sports, and popular live TV. And then their biggest one is the Ultra. That's $74.99. That includes movies, sports, and all the premiums. And that also includes, with that, HBO and I believe Showtime. Yeah. So that'll include all HBO content as well as Showtime. And what I mean by that is that it'll include everything that's aired. So if you're needing to catch up on a show that's been airing, you can go there and be able to catch up on it. Now, let's say you get the Access and you don't want sports or anything, but you do want HBO. You can just pay for Access, and for $15 a month, you can get HBO through that. Now, or you can add in a bunch of others. Again, you can build your packages any way you want. You'll be noticing that there's some yellow prices. What that's referring to is that if you have a PlayStation Plus account, so if you have it's called PlayStation Plus. It's pretty much offers a lot more things than just TVs and things like that. It's for gaming as well. So I have a PlayStation 4, and I also have the PlayStation Plus. So if I'm part of Plus already, and I go to PlayStation Vue, I wouldn't need to pay the $21.99 for HBO and Cinemax. I'd pay my Plus version.
What about recording?
So with recording on PlayStation Vue, I want to say it's up. There's no limit to how much you can record. And charting me off the top of my head, there's no limit in your recording. Now, as far as devices to stream from simultaneously, there's no limit. So you can have 5 people watching different things. Now, I think it's 5 devices simultaneously, unlimited recording, but only one device can be the PlayStation. So if you have a gaming console, the PlayStation 4, you can only have one console playing it. And so that just means you can't have 2 consoles. You can have one console playing it and 4 other devices playing at the same time. So you get 5 devices simultaneously or just one console. Yes, sir.
Can you run this, can you stream this on your Roku?
Yep. The question is, can you stream this through Roku? Yes. Yep. Yes, sir.
When you choose a local network, ABC or Fox or
Actually,
CBS, which market do you get? Is it out of Orlando?
So actually, when you go to the PlayStation website, the PlayStation View website, there is a place where you can enter your zip code, and it'll show you all the channels you get based on your zip code.
Great.
Yep. Now, one thing about this is that I do believe it is tied to your location. So if you set this up to your house here, you won't be able to play it up north or wherever the case may be.
Yeah, it goes by your billing address.
Yep. Right. Yes, ma'am.
So where does it record to? I have a DVR. I'm used to recording with the DVR.
So the question was, where does it record to? It just records to the cloud. So it's an internet thing. When I say cloud, it's just the internet. There's no device you need to have to record to. It's just tied to your account on the internet. Yes, ma'am. The question is, does it show HD? It does have HD content. You need to go to the channel that says HD. So like CBS, or whatever the case may be. If you're ever on your cable, you'll notice that there's a regular channel for CBS, and there might be a channel that says CBS HD. It'd be the same way.
And it's live, there's no delay?
Question is it live? Yeah, it's live. Mm-hmm.
So you use the TV remote?
The question is, do you use your TV remote? That'll depend on how you have it. So if you have it through your smart TV and you download the app, then yes, you would use your TV remote. If you're using like a Roku stick to watch it, then you need to use your Roku remote. So it just depends on how you have it. Yes, sir.
What kind of speed do you need on your internet?
Again, it's not that you're recording it to a device. It's just saying, oh, hey, on my account, record this. So it's not necessarily you have to have a huge amount. So it's not like you're downloading it.
So if you got 30 megabytes?
30 megabytes would be perfect. Yep. Now, if you have multiple people trying to watch it at the same time, 30 megabytes is pretty decent. You might want to consider it going higher. Usually it's not much expensive to go from 30 to 90. So just talk with your cable or your internet service provider. Yes, ma'am.
And you'll probably get to this when you get to streaming devices, but so you would need a device on each TV in your house?
Question is, would you need a device on each TV? Again, yes and no. If you have a smart TV, you can download it straight to the smart TV. If they're not smart, then yes, you need a device to go to each. All right, any other questions? All right. You go ahead. All right. Antenna TV, we always get questions about this. I highly recommend to not bother with antenna. In fact, we've stopped. We used to go out to the house. I think we even stopped doing that. Just, you would need at minimum a 60-mile antenna. 70 above is much better. And you get anywhere between 36 and 42 channels, and that'll include Hispanic channels and everything else. Like I said, worship channels, Spanish, or old-time movie channels, which then specifically the antenna, since again, we're not going to come over to set it up, you need to set the antenna to be facing southeast and above the tree line. And also check with your HOA. I've had multiple times people they get the antenna, and they come back to return it because their HOA wouldn't let them. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you might want to just check. They might hassle you and keep hassling you.
You can put up a dish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
didn't hear the question.
So what he was saying, if you couldn't hear it, is that by law they can't make you not put it up. That's what he was saying. So, but you might have to deal with their hassling. All right, yes, sir.
So how about these inside antennas that we read about, like the clear view antenna, made by
What is
NASA
it?
technology and all
What is
that?
it?
Inside antennas.
Yeah, you sound like. I'm not sure on those ones. From what she's saying, it's not much better. Yeah, I mean, even regardless of what antenna you're going to use, you're still going to be limited to this. It's just going to be able to maybe pick it up better, but you're still going to be limited to those channels. And you're not going to get much. Mm-hmm.
Quick note, you went through the antenna deal. Had a great guy at Walmart who said, go to your house, unhook cable. If you don't have cable yet, unhook it. Hook your TV to one of the plug-in wall units, get your cable, hook it up. If you can't get any channel with any kind of a snow event, an antenna will not do you any good if you're too far away. And we tried it, and you're too far away unless you get one that does it better. So there's a quick one if you want to check your antenna, the inside mount.
Yeah, where we're located here, we're right between Gainesville and Orlando, and those are the two places you're going to get the channels from. And it's kind of like being in the valley. If you've ever lived on the wrong side of a mountain, you'll know that you can't get radio stations and you can't get TV channels. It's going to be something quite similar to that.
Yes, ma'am, in the purple.
I live in a place where the reception would be poor for an antenna, and the way I found out about it, you can go online and check and see what your location is, and they can do basically, above your property area and scope it out and see what the likelihood of you having reception.
Oh, cool.
I'm down at the bottom of the hill with lots of trees, and that's what it says on it.
At the end of the presentation, you want to come up and give us that website?
I don't know that I have it off the top of my
Okay.
head.
Because that would be nice. I could just throw that up there on the slide and so people can see. Okay.
It will direct you to a site that can give you
I think it's
what the
TV
likelihood
full.
of success is.
TV full?
Full, F-O-O-L.
Okay.
Put in your exact address and tell you what exactly.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Alright.
Yes, ma'am.
I know I had one time, and I absolutely could not pick up NBC. But the lady across the street from me, she got NBC. She got everything,
Just outside that range.
It's that whole being on the wrong side of the mountain thing.
Well, it's like being on the wrong side of the street. I mean,
Yep.
It was, but there was absolutely no way, and I wanted NBC, so.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Yes.
Question that I have is, I was looking at, in cutting the cord, I was looking at the Netflix, the Hulu for programming that would not include the commercial channels over the airwaves. And my thought was to have an antenna to get those over the airwaves channels. What would I do if I don't have an antenna without investing in PlayStation or something like that?
You're not going to get it through antenna, unfortunately. Other than, well, the PlayStation View, Hulu Live, and then there's one more I'm going to cover is Sling TV, which I'll be covering over as well. Those pretty much are your best bets if you want over-the-air channels. Yeah. Any other questions about antennas? All right. Sling TV. All right. So it's a service that allows subscribers to watch live and on-demand TV channels on pretty much the same devices that we've been covering. It is only available in the United States, and it's cheaper alternative to most TV services. But it does require a good internet connection and a compatible device. There's no contracts, cancel any time. All right, go ahead.
What's a compatible device?
It's just like Chromecast or your TV, or not your TV, smart TV or a laptop, just some same things that we've been covering. Any device that gets like an internet connection, really. All right, so with Sling TV, they have two different packages, and the third package is actually just combining both of them. It's called Sling Orange and Sling Blue. Sling Orange is $20 a month, and includes a la carte TV. With Sling Orange, you get all these channels here, and you can also get add-on channels, but pretty much ESPN, AMC, CNN, all of these channels here. Go to the blue. Sling Blue is $25 a month, and you get all these different channels. Some are switched between the two. Some are only covered in blue, while others are only covered in orange. But with Sling Blue, you do get your local. You should be able to pick up your local channels and regional sports. Plus, you get Fox Regional Sports and NBC Regional Sports where available. So you do get that you get more sports options with the blue. Then there should be the combo, the next one. No. Essentially, the combo, there's a combo package. I want to say it's like $30. And is it? Yeah, I think it's 30, and you pretty much combine both Sling Orange and Blue. To 40? He's going to pull it up, but it's a combo between the two.
Again, the whole local TV is going to be relative to your billing address. So
Correct.
it goes by that zip code on your billing address. So if you signed up for Sling TV in Massachusetts or Washington State, and you come down here every year, those are the two, that's where you're going to get your local channels from. So your PBS is going to be WGBH if you're from Massachusetts, the Boston area.
So on the Sling TV, because I don't see it, you get ABC, CBS, NBC.
Correct. Those are
Correct.
included, those local channels.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, the orange and blue together is $40.
Yep. And adding
quick-
on the extras is kind of cool.
So again, you can get extras like Sports Extra, which I believe covers the Red Zone. Yeah. So if you do the $10 a month for the Sports Extra, you get the ESPN Red Zone. You get NBA TV, NHL. The Golf Network. I think there's a separate golf as well.
Yeah, there are
Yeah.
two of them.
There's two different golfs.
You get Golf Network, and then I think there's another one that it's a little bit more obscure. Most people know Golf Network or Golf TV
Yeah.
here.
Yes, sir.
Just want to back up just for a quick moment when we very first slide on Sling TV.
Okay.
And I understand about it requires a good internet connection, and it says a compatible device. That's
Right.
the router side.
So a compatible device is all the devices we've been talking about, which is a smart TV or a streaming device like a Roku or your laptop or your cell phone. That's what it's talking about. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
You do have the option for you can record up to 50 hours, and that's it's one of the extras, $5 a month extra. As far as HD content, you do get some, but I think that also is subject to your region, if I am correct.
I'm not sure on that one.
Okay. I know that when I had Sling, I did the free trial just to see what it was like, so I could actually talk about it. They had some HD content, which was kind of nice.
But to record, it costs $5 a month.
$5 a month to record 50 hours.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
The PBS, if that's what you're asking about, the local. Yep. So she's asking if we went over the public broadcasting, which not specifically, but that's included in your local channels.
Yep. Anything else about Sling TV?
So you don't need because right now we have dish satellite, so you don't need that.
No, you wouldn't.
No, it's a dish product.
Correct. So the question is, you wouldn't need your dish. No, you wouldn't if you have this.
This is exclusively internet. Yep.
Yeah, Sling TV.
Are cable companies taking a hit because of this stuff?
Oh, yeah.
That
Are they going to respond by either lowering their costs or?
From what I've seen, they are not lowering their cost. He's asking if cable companies are taking a hit. Yes. Will they be lowering their cost to hope to keep their customers? From my experience and the folks that I've talked with, no. What they're doing is when you threaten to leave, they try to get you in for 3 months of a lower rate, and then they bump it back up. So that's partly why I really love coming to these cutting the cable
Yeah.
classes.
Me personally, I stopped watching cable a long time ago. I only pay for internet service, and I pay for Netflix, Amazon Prime, and a couple other things that I'm not going to cover here because they're more for geek stuff. But, for me, most of the stuff that airs on TV, either I don't really need to watch it. I'm not that interested in it. Only reason I would watch it is because it's there, but I don't necessarily want to watch it. While Netflix and Amazon provide me with a lot of original content that are really good, and I just get more out of it that way.
With these, let me just ask a quick question. With these add-ons, can you really call up and add on and take off and add on?
You don't even have to,
Yep.
you can, he's asking if you can take away and add on things at any point in time. Yes. You can do Monday one thing, Tuesday another. You don't even have to call in. You just log into your account, go into change my subscription, and it's right there.
And they don't give you any static on that?
Nope.
I know she had one.
Oh.
The reason why I asked earlier about data caps is that very question we're talking about right now is that one of the ways that cable companies are dealing with it is by imposing data caps on you, and when they bump you up, and it's, I guess that's
So the question is, talking about data caps. Honestly, if you're doing this, it doesn't really take up that much. And most of the times, depends on the company, but like with Comcast or with Bright House, I think the data cap's like a terabyte, and that's a lot. If you're just doing Netflix and Hulu, you're not going to reach that cap. It's not like a huge hit on your network. Yes, ma'am.
And boxes.
Yeah. So again, her question was a lot of times why cable companies additional fees or the price is high is because of additional fees and taxes and stuff like that. None of that. When we say $9.99, you're paying $9.99.
Right.
There's no tax. It's just that specific price.
Right. You don't have to pay for boxes in each room with each TV. You're just paying for this one subscription. And I believe with the combined, you can have, I think, up to 5 people watching different things at the same time on the same subscription.
Yeah, on Sling TV, yes.
With Sling TV, so say you have a family of 5 people, and they don't want to all watch the same thing at the same time, and one lives in Wisconsin, the other one's down here. You can have up to 5 people watching at the same time on the same subscription.
But they'll get the people in Wisconsin will get the Orlando news.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am, in the blue. Okay.
Happens to me all the time.
All right, we'll come back. Yes, sir.
Regarding the local channels on Sling, I only see NBC on it. Do you get ABC and CBS?
With the local channels, they might not display everything here because it's based on your location. So if your zip code is in North Carolina, it'll be different from what you're going to have in Florida. So they're not going to display that here. I believe, again, I think with Sling TV, I think you can go to their website and put in your billing zip code, and they'll list what channels you'll get extra.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Fox News Network is totally missing from any of the Sling apps.
It is one of the ones provided.
It is provided.
Yes.
Just like a quick thing, you'll be surprised at how much that you probably don't need these channels. If you just stop watching it, it's kind of amazing. You're only watching them because they're there. So when you're looking at getting rid of your cable, just think about what you're missing and whether you really don't need it or not. And you'd be surprised most of the times what people need are the news and like some good TV shows and movies, which all of these will provide at a much lower cost.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. And sports, sorry.
Do you all recommend an internet provider, be it Comcast, whatever, because when you come down from your triple play and want only internet, it's going to cost you out the game.
It'll depend. Question is, do we recommend a certain company for your internet service provider? One, it'll depend on your area, because in my area, the only available is Bright House. So I can only get Bright House.
Yeah.
But not to say anything bad about Bright House. I actually like them. Would say I prefer cable over DSL. CenturyLink is DSL, while Comcast is cable. And I'll prefer that over satellite.
Yep. I have Comcast, and for what I did, which was kind of the loophole in a way, they usually give you discounts if you do bundles. So what I did was I have a phone number and your absolute bare bones basic TV package, and I don't even have a cable box hooked up, and I have internet. But it allows me to have faster internet, but not pay that high cost for just having internet alone. That is one way kind of around it.
So yeah, some of the things they do is they do provide better packages if you get multiple things. If you just pay for the bare minimum, it'll probably be cheaper than just paying straight internet.
Yep.
Did you say that, okay, you had Spectrum or White House, and what kind of is it
That's cable.
It's cable. And you preferred that over?
DSL. DSL is a phone line.
Okay,
That's CenturyLink.
What is Xfinity?
Comcast, that's cable.
Cable.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so cable is, okay.
Yeah.
I find that it's more consistent.
Yes, ma'am.
My daughter lives in Virginia, and she just recently cut the cable. And she even cut her internet. She has Verizon, and she has unlimited data, and she runs her internet off a hotspot on her phone.
Yeah.
It's a great
So,
She seems to have
one thing about that is what she was saying was that her daughter she cut everything, her cable and her internet, and she just goes through Verizon, and Verizon gives you a hotspot, and she pays for unlimited data, and she just runs all of it off of her hotspot. It'll depend. If it's just you and maybe one other person, sure. But if you got multiple people and streaming, that hotspot's not gonna cover it, not at all.
Yeah, the other thing too is that I'm not sure about Verizon specifically since I don't have it, but I know that other folks will slow it down. Once you get to a certain, it's unlimited, but once you get to a certain amount, they will slow your internet speeds way, way down.
Yes, ma'am.
I will say, we tried the hotspot thing. And that cost, to do that unlimited, adds $80 a month to your Verizon bill. So,
Just so you know,
but, wait, hang on a
I'll
second.
interrupt you in a minute, go
All
ahead.
right. So we took everything back to Comcast and quit them.
Verizon just started a new, I'm sorry, you're still talking, I think we're done.
No, I just want to back to the
They have
Comcast.
just come out with a brand new. I am gonna cut you off because the information you're giving is yesterday's information. They have just come out with a brand new for seniors in Florida plan, $40 a line if you pay it automatically.
That's correct.
It's
So for
brand new.
two of us, it's $80
Yeah,
a month.
I think that she was just about to say that. Yeah.
Right, so it was $80 a month more for us to do that.
Right.
So we quit everything at Comcast, and then we decided to, and we tried the hotspot, which wasn't gonna work. So then we went back to get internet again. And we could get Comcast cable, or just internet, for $19.97 a month, and I said, because we're new customers, I said,
Yeah.
we just quit them.
Yep.
He said, how long ago? I said, 2 weeks. He said, 1 week, you're a new customer.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
when they're gonna charge you less, I don't question.
Oh, yeah.
And
Comcast
we
or
went to Comcast 5 times
Yeah.
trying to get them to do something.
Yeah. Comcast, Bright House, whoever, they want you to come back, and they're gonna give you cheaper to get you to come back. So, if you're willing to, I mean, I've heard horror stories of trying to get you canceled from Comcast, but if you want to deal with that and keep canceling and renewing, I guess you could do that. Yeah.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
So, but if you cancel like your Comcast, you're gonna have another $300-some installation fee to join back up again.
yes and
No
no.
installation fees on any of these streamers.
What we've talked about, there's no installation fees because there's no devices to set up. It's just you pay for the service and you download the app.
Which, to add to that, is also another one of those reasons where it's if you have Comcast and you're paying up the inn and you're talking about going to just internet, sometimes it's easier so that they don't have to tweak anything and it's just more keystrokes than anything for them to just go basic cable, phone, and your better internet. So
And if you decide to do that, like we were talking about earlier, like she's saying, you'd get the internet package and a cable package to bare bone. You don't even have to get their box. You just say, I don't want any box. Just Just return the
Exactly.
box and you don't have to pay for the
And
box.
then you're not
Just-
paying $10 a month for each box.
Yeah.
Which is what I did.
And then you just kept their router.
Exactly. Well, actually, I own my own, I
Yeah.
have my own router.
You can return their router and get your own router and not have to pay
The rent, you don't
the
have to rent
rental
it.
fee. It can be. It depends how many people you have and how many devices. You might want to look at a better router. Just depends. If you have one person, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say that if you have just the basic TV with Comcast, you don't need the boxes?
So, let me clarify. What we're talking about here is to reduce the price on just having internet.
Yep.
So with Comcast, you could say, hey, I want to pay for the internet and just a basic cable. Don't watch the cable. You're just getting it to reduce the price as a bundle deal. And you don't have to have the box
In that situation.
in that situation. Specifically, if you want to watch their cable, you need a box. Okay.
But for me, for my purposes, and then to share with you guys, was to get the lowest price that I could. I had to have the bare bones TV, but I don't watch TV because for me, the bare bones was a bunch of TV channels that I don't watch and commercials I don't need, and so that's why I did what I did to save money. Yeah.
This is unrelated to Comcast. To make sure I understand this,
Mhm.
in order to take advantage of these various services you've been talking about, I either have to have a smart TV or some device that converts it to a smart TV. How else am I going to get it on a dumb TV?
Well, now I had a dumb TV and I got a Fire Stick, which I will be
Sorry.
talking about in a little bit.
Yeah, after
getting there.
Sling, after we get done talking about Sling TV, there's one other thing we have to talk about Sling TV. We're going to get to devices that allow you to turn your dumb TV into a smart TV.
One more and then
All right, so to come, I guess to conserve time here, we're going to go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead. All right, this is Sling Box. What Sling Box is, let's say you don't want to get rid of your cable, you want to keep it, but you're a snowbird. So you pay, this is a situation where you can just pay for one cable company in like up north and be able to watch it down south without having to pay anything extra down south in Florida. So what it is that it's a box you connect to your device up north, you pay your cable, and, or sorry, it's about, is that a box you put up north or down here to convert it? Yeah, so pretty much it allows you to cast what your cable company provides up north to the box down south so you don't have to pay for two different cable companies. Now, key thing though is to know is that you can only one person watch at a time. So if you're down here and you have family up north in your house trying to watch TV, you're both not going to be able to watch TV. Only one person at a time. So just know that. It is, sorry, it's a box you put up north and then you can download the app and watch it on the app anywhere. Now, Sling Box, the basic one, is $99. If you want HD content, that's the Sling Box 500, which is $300. That's a one-time thing, though. That's a device. It's not like a subscription. It's just a device that you buy. And you connect it up home or wherever you want your cable, wherever you have your cable, and then you watch it on any device, wherever. Yes, ma'am.
Does that work with DirecTV?
I believe so. Yeah, it works with DirecTV. Hmm? All right, anything else about the Sling Box? All right, go on. All right, now we're going to get into devices so that you can turn your dumb TV into a smart TV. All right, so a Google Chromecast, your television, it does have to have an HDMI port on the TV. And if you've got an old CRT TV that's 100 pounds, and it's probably not going to have an HDMI port on it. So you wouldn't be able to turn that one. But if it has an HDMI, then you're good to go. You just plug it in, you connect it to your Wi-Fi, which is you just download the app on a TV or on a phone or a tablet and set it up that way. And you cast whatever you're watching it on to the TV. So let's say I've got the ESPN app on my phone, and I'm watching the game on my ESPN app on my phone. I can then tell it to cast to my TV, and it'll display it on my TV. So so at that point, your phone is your remote. So there's no remote. It's just this device, and it plugs into TV, and then it draws power from plugging it into an outlet. Yes, ma'am.
You keep talking about phones, are you talking about smartphones and other kinds of things? 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't have a flip phone.
So, yeah, when I refer to phones, I'm talking about smartphones, yes. But if you have a flip phone, you could do it on a tablet, or you could do it on your computer. So, like, let's say you're on, if you have the web, or if you have Google Chrome on your computer, which is a web browser, whatever you're watching a video, you could actually tell it to cast to here. Or if you have the Netflix app on your or on your laptop, you can tell it to cast to here and be able to see it on there. So you don't have to use your phone, but when I do say phone, I do say smartphone. Yes, sir, in the back.
Thank you. When you get the basic, as you called it, as the young lady called it, the basic bundle with internet and through Comcast with internet and TV, then do they leave you enough speed for streaming?
Question is, when you get the basic bundle, yes, they give you enough speed for streaming.
Yeah, the reason why I did that was because that's all I do.
Yeah.
All I do is stream. So yes, it allows me to listen to my radio, use my Alexa and my smart devices at home, and stream TV. And it's $49.99 a month.
The two different versions of the Chromecast, there's a $35 regular one, and then there's a $70 one for the Ultra, which will allow you to do 4K content. Again, your TV needs to be able to display 4K though. So if you have a 4K TV, then you can get the 4K Chromecast and be able to watch 4K content if you pay the subscription for the 4K. This is not going to allow your TV, dumb TV, to play 4K content. All right. Pretty much you just like go to Google and type in the model number of your TV, and it'll say whether, it's not going to say it does not do 4K, but if 4K is not listed in its specs, then it doesn't. All right, next slide. Go ahead. Sorry, we're going to try to get through this so we can talk about everything. Really? That wasn't it? Okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Back to the Google Chromecast, would you have to get one of these for each TV?
Yes. You would have to get it for each TV.
Or
Or
unplug it and plug it into
yeah.
a different TV.
Can you watch two different things?
So yeah, the question is that one, do you need it for each TV, or and also, do you have to? Sorry, what was it again?
If you're
No.
if there are two people in the house and they each
Yeah.
have a Chromecast on each TV, can you watch two different things at the same time? Yes, because it is unique to your phone. Whatever's casting on your phone,
And you
basically projects
also
it.
name it the device. So
Yep.
you could say name it one thing and your other device name it another. So when it's asks you where do you want to show it, you pick the name.
My
and it'll put it
Fire
on that.
Stick is named Frank.
Yeah. All right. So Apple TV, it's not a TV. It's a little box, looks like this, and a remote. And it acts just like a Chromecast in the fact that you plug it into your TV, it needs an HDMI. It's specifically for Apple devices, so iPads and iPhones. You're not going to do it through your Android phone. And it can stream iTunes content, and it can also mirror what's on your device. So let's say you're on your iPad, and you tell it to connect to your Apple TV, it'll mirror what's on the screen of your iPad.
So one big thing as well, unlike the Chromecast can only mirror from your device. It doesn't have built-in apps.
Right.
Apple TV and the other ones we're going to talk about have built-in apps. So if you don't have a smartphone, you don't have a tablet,
Yep.
you can still watch those things through the device itself.
Correct. So Chromecast, you have to cast it from a device that has that app, while Apple TV, Roku, and all that has the apps built into it, so you don't need that other device. Yes, but again, you can also unplug it and plug it into the other one. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. All right. Roku. There are a lot of different versions of Roku. In fact, I'll let you do the Roku.
So as you were saying, there are a lot of versions of the Roku, between Roku TV, the Roku Express, then going all the way up to the Roku Ultra. It really comes down to the features you're looking for. The Express is a basic one, basic HDMI plug-in. It's the cheapest one that they give, and it only goes up to 1080p. Versus when you start getting into like the Premieres and the Ultras, those have built-in SD card slots as well. So if you have media on an SD card, you can play it right off of that. Ones like the Premiere Plus and the Ultra, also on the remote, have a headphone jack. So that way if you want to listen to whatever you're watching, and you don't want anybody else to hear it, you can plug in headphones and listen to it right from there. The bigger ones like the Premiere Plus and the Ultra as well give you that higher HD content, like the 4K, so that you can get the better resolution on the screen. Do we have any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
For most normal viewers that's going to have like Amazon maybe and Netflix, what would a good average one be there?
I would probably say the Roku streaming sticks.
Right. I have the streaming stick personally. The Express is usually a little bit light for the power it can give you and can sometimes lag, while the streaming stick itself, very capable, very powerful, and actually at a very affordable price. I believe it's $50.
Yeah, the question was, what is for the average user? So we were saying the stick. If you want to do 4K content, you're going to have to do the Ultra Premiere or Premiere Plus. Yeah. Yes, sir.
How about picture size issues? I've noticed on some of these devices, when I put them onto my TV, I can't get it to fill the screen, either top to bottom, side to side. I've done all the adjustments. Even a couple of the apps that are right on the smart TV, I have picture size issues. Is that common?
How big is your TV?
50-inch.
That's typically not common.
I've done that.
Depends on what you're streaming from and maybe what you're trying to watch, because maybe that was never made to go that stretch that far. But
That on Prime, my Prime membership more than anything else, and it's right on my TV.
it might be something specific going on with your TV, or because typically it doesn't do that. It'll fill it up. I've got a.
It also depends on the show, though. Because I mean, you're
Yeah.
gonna if you watch some shows, like I know for me personally, Gilmore Girls. If I'm watching Gilmore Girls, the first season of Gilmore Girls, I get this box. It's just a square, but then later the newer shows fill up the whole screen. So I don't know if it's subject to the content itself that you're watching.
Also, another thing real quick on that, because my grandfather has the same issue with his TV on a lot of things, and we don't have a great TV. You can go into the picture settings on a lot of TVs and change the zoom ratio, whether it take away the bars, whether it's zooming completely on the screen. So play with those settings as well to see if you can get a better picture.
Yes, sir.
So is the Roku streaming stick, is that comparable to the Amazon Fire Stick?
So the question is, the Roku streaming stick comparable to the Fire Stick from Amazon? Yes.
Yes.
And we're going to be going over the Amazon next, I believe. Yes, sir.
I understand you correctly. You said that CenturyLink is a DSL?
Yes.
Yes.
It is, okay.
Yep.
Yep. I know the woman in the back right there.
I'm sorry, I must have missed something. I don't know what Roku is.
It is a streaming device. So basically, like we were talking about Chromecast before, you plug it into your not so intelligent TV and it makes your dumb TV smart.
Yep.
It
So-
allows you to utilize all these streaming features.
So pretty much when during the setup process of the Roku, it'll ask you what do you want to put on the device. And during the setup process, you can even put channels, certain channels if it's offered. And you say, I want Netflix, Hulu, and these channels, and it'll put it onto this device. And that way you could just, on your TV, go straight to Roku and be able to watch that.
So you buy this device and then you get the Netflix.
Right. So,
No.
no. Okay. The question is, can you buy this device and then just get Netflix free? No. This device just allows you to get to Netflix, and then you have to pay for Netflix. Then this is a one-time fee though to get this device.
Essentially, it's like the conduit.
Yeah.
So if you have a smart TV and it has all these apps on it, Amazon Prime, there's nothing that you get from having an additional add-on device.
Correct.
Not necessarily. Some manufacturers of TVs, they specifically Sony, they can't get HBO app on it. It's not offered. You cannot get it. So getting one of these devices, then you can put the HBO app on the device and be able to see it.
Other than that exception.
And then also some apps, like let's say there's an app I use that it can't display 4K content on the TV app version, which is called Plex TV. With Plex, if I downloaded the app to my TV, but it's not capable of 4K. But I got the Google Chromecast, my PS4, my PlayStation, and put the app on it, and it could do the 4K. So it also depends on the app itself. So there are maybe some ways, but that is specific. For the most part, no, you don't need to.
Another thing as well is if you want to pull from your phone or tablet onto the screen where the mirroring is, not all smart TVs have that feature. So things like the Chromecast would come in handy at that point, just to even mirror your phone or tablet to the screen.
You're talking about streaming something from your computer, your tablet, wirelessly to your TV.
Yep.
You might need one of these devices?
Yes. So Chromecast is a great example of it. If you want to show, say, a slideshow to a family member, you went on a trip and you have a group of people over and you want to show a slideshow, Chromecast is really great because you can have your photos already saved in one area and then you can stream it or cast it to your TV with the Chromecast. So it allows you to do that as well.
Is that a Bluetooth capability?
It is not. It actually uses your internet.
Yep. And also, I subscribe to a lot of different stuff that just doesn't have, like VR. There's a VRV. It's for anime. I'm sorry, but it might not have the app available for that smart TV. So I have a Google Chromecast, and I can just do it on my phone and just cast it to the TV.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why you're a Best Buy geek.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Some of the applications drive you bonkers. I Bluetooth all over my house.
Yes.
I put the grandkids with a 60-inch smart shark. Some of these things just too many options.
Well, like I said, go to the store and sign up to have Jessica to come out, and she can walk you through your setup and what you can do to drop the cable and what you could use in your own house. And
Part of the other thing.
We are right.
I go out the door and turn everything off for a while.
Yeah, we are right by Bed Bath & Beyond. So we're on 441. Yep. Oh, 352.
352-674-2039. Yep. 352-674-2039.
If you have a lot of devices and a lot of people watching, do cable companies monitor that? Do they throttle back if you are sucking up too much bandwidth?
I think
Yes.
some of them, yes.
Yeah, they're not going to tell you they're doing it, but yeah, they can.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go move on to the next
All right,
slide
go to
real
the next
quick.
one.
Fire stick.
All right. So this is the Amazon Fire TV. There is also the Fire Stick. So this one is $89.99, and this is going to be able to show your 4K Ultra HD content. Whereas the Fire Stick, which is what I have, which is $39.99, allows you to get HD content, but you don't get the 4K Ultra HD, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So with this, you get, essentially it's a lot like Roku, except it's just provided to you from Amazon. You get Netflix, Hulu, Plex, all sorts of things. And integrated into it already, so when you plug it in, you log in, already downloaded, and you just have to log in are gonna be your Sling, Netflix, Hulu, your Prime videos, obviously, and then the other things that you might wanna get, I know I have HBO Now on mine, so I can watch all of my HBO shows if I want to. And then you can get ESPN, NFL, any of those apps. So your MLB extra innings, you can get right here. So any of those kinds of things, it allows you to do that. And I love mine, and it has a remote. And I think for me, the Roku and the Fire Stick and the Fire TV are the great thing about that is that you have a remote and you don't have to have your phone with you at all times.
But don't you pay a la carte for the Netflix movie itself? Isn't that an extra fee or is that free?
So what you want is you buy this one time and you plug it into your TV. You do have to have a Netflix subscription, just like you have to have the Hulu subscription. But it allows you to stream it wherever. So it doesn't come free. You get the free trial, but it doesn't give you the opportunity just to have it free. I know a lot I got when I got my Fire Stick, I got Sling TV for 2 weeks, free. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
NFL, NBC, Fox, and BBC, you have to have another subscription to something to get that, right?
Yes, so for the NFL, it's an app, essentially. An application that you download onto the Fire Stick, and then you log in, you have a subscription there, whether it's $14.99 a month, $7.99 a month, whatever plan you're paying for, and that's what you're going to be using.
With your existing cable company, whatever it is.
Yes, that's kind of one of those situations where having this and then Sling TV comes in handy, so that you don't necessarily have to have those extra apps and fees. You just pay for the basic Sling package and then the add-on sports extra that you want. That's what I always like.
Is there a Jessica type person at every Best Buy store? In other words, just north.
Not.
Up north. Can I get someone to do what you just said?
Yes, a lot of them are going to be in more metropolitan areas. I know that for a while our area was a test market, but they went from having 40 to I think having over 4,000. So.
But not to brag, Jessica's the best.
She is the best, and she's the best in the company and the country. Exactly, but she could also come to your house, do a consultation. She can meet with you in store, and even talk to you about what you might want to consider for when you get back up north. And she's not limited to just the tech side. She also does appliances, home theater, security systems as well.
She's literally trained in every
Everything.
single thing.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
Yes. No, you do not. That's one of the wonderful things. You just buy the Fire Stick or the Fire TV. You don't have to have Prime. You do miss out on a couple of the things without having Prime, but it's basically what turns your dumb TV into a smart TV. So it just allows you, it's like I like to say, it's the conduit. So you plug it in, you can play Netflix, you can play Hulu, you can play Sling, you can play your golf network app if you want to. It allows you to do that. If you do have Prime, it allows you to store photos, music. I mean, with my TV, I have a Spotify account, and I actually play that through my TV. And with the remote, it has Alexa built into it, which is a voice assistant. And I can control my Fire Stick, not the TV, but the Fire Stick when it's on with my Alexa anywhere in the house.
Really?
Yes.
So any streaming service like Spotify, you can play.
Yep.
Correct.
Netflix, Hulu, all that.
Pandora, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. Yep.
Just tell me again what you have with you said Comcast.
I have the bare bones basic cable, which is essentially your local channels, and that's it. And then you have to have a phone line, and then I have the higher end of the internet, essentially. So I get more download, better speed, up to 60.
And how much?
$49.99 a month.
And your speed?
Up to 60. Yep. Yes.
But you.
Who?
Cable, Wi-Fi, phone, internet. Now, if I were to drop everything and go with the basic, that means now I have to find a new carrier for the phone?
Nope. So what you have a landline phone. Is that what you say? All right. So you're going to keep the landline phone. Your Wi-Fi and your internet are the same thing. And you're going to, if you don't want to watch TV at all, really, you can get rid of the boxes and you go down to essentially just the local channels that you might not even watch anyway. And that allows you to get a lower price. They bundle. What they want you to do is have all of this stuff. They will offer it at a lower price so that you can have everything stay with them, but not have to.
So pretty much you
Be
would
taken
just
advantage of.
don't tell them I want to get rid of everything.
Right.
Just say I want to drop my cable
You know,
down to the basics.
Even
That's
if
it.
you say something like, I travel a lot and I don't need all of this, but I want to keep my internet because I have a whatever at the house.
Well, that sounds like an easy way to get your local channels then.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you start adding on with Netflix and Hallmark and things like that that are basic.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
exactly.
you can do that way too.
But with your basic channels, don't you have to have a box?
Yes. So when you have the basic channels and you go through Comcast, if you want to watch your TV, you will need to have a box at one TV. Which
So
is
of course is what you're gonna have to pay for rent out is
right.
that box.
So $10 a month.
Yeah.
Even the smaller box.
Right.
$5.99 versus getting the HD box at $9.99.
That that depends. I know with Bright House, they got rid of those little boxes. Yeah, they just have one box. Yeah.
Comcast, to my knowledge, still has one. I don't have it, but they still do it. For me, I just didn't need it, and I didn't want to pay $10 each TV a month. It just made no sense for me personally. So.
We're back to all those fees, right?
Cor-
Because they have a sports broadcast fee.
right, but what you're doing. Exactly. What you're doing is if you eliminate that box and you go down to just your basic 7 channels, then you don't have to worry about that. And then you have more control over if you want the NFL, if you want the ESPN, if you want Nessun. So it gives you that opportunity.
So without the box, I can still get the local news, local.
If you're going to watch your TV, you're going to need a box. Whether it's a big one, little one,
And that's $10 a month.
up to $10 a month. Yep, for the HD one, it'll be $10. I believe the small one is not HD and it's only $5.99, if I am correct. Nope. Yeah, but this is in lieu of doing all the above and beyond. So for me, I have Sling. So I pay $5 a month to have DVR. So where I gave up one, I was able to afford the other. That's how I balanced it out. Yeah. Anything else? Any other? Yes.
Are there any up-to-date publications that includes advice like this?
Up-to-date books that you can get? Yes. Yep, there are. You can go to Barnes & Noble here, or I imagine they're even in the library right downstairs, where they have all sorts of walkthroughs. We also, anything on the internet, you can Google it, so to speak, but you have the ability to do that. But go ask any one of the librarians, and they should be able to help you. We have, last time I was in here, they had a huge amount of resources for this kind of thing. Absolutely. Anything else? Yes.
I took a Fire Stick, got it a couple years ago.
Mhm.
A friend downloaded it onto my TV.
Mhm.
I've never used it because then he was back out of town and it was one of my friend's sons that lives in Maine. And now I don't know how to even do anything with it. It's the audio one where you talk to it.
Okay.
And I don't even know how to get it to do it.
Well, fortunately, when you get the remote, you see the microphone button right up there. You don't have to use that. Oh, if you don't want to, you don't have to. The little circle has up, down, left, right, and then you have your home button, back, menu, and your play button. So essentially, once you get it going, you don't have to use any of the voice. You don't have to use any of the voice controls if you don't want to. But it will show you that if you want to do that, you just hold it down until there's a blue line. You speak, and then you say search or open Netflix, and then Alexa will open Netflix. Yep.
I can get on Comcast or Xfinity everything. I can download a Netflix movie. And then when I try to use Amazon Fire, I see the same options.
Right. If you already, it sounded like you have a smart TV at home already. It's okay. That's okay. If you have a smart TV at home already, this might not necessarily be relevant for you. It's just because it might be an extra one-time cost that you don't need to worry about. If you can get Prime, if you have a Prime account and you can get that on your TV already, I would say don't worry about it. Not unless you wanted to use it on a guest room television or something like that. That's the only time I'd recommend it. Yep. All right, anything else? The room's getting a little less crowded.
No problem. Oh, thank you.
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
so much.
Appreciate it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I do have a smart TV.